Well, hey, and welcome, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Hey, Stella. Hey, Tim. More photo inventory. You know what I'm going to say. Stop stealing the show. Hope you guys can hear me and see me. Okay, so if you just let me know. Today's webinar, Kick-Ass Marketing in an Online World, is just a high-level overview of the steps that you need to be successful when building out your online marketing strategy. So we're going to show you all of that. Last week's webinar, we did the how to transition to selling online, and that has a lot of the intricate steps for the marketing strategy. So this one's more of a high-level overview. Hey, Brad. Hey, David. Glad you guys can hear me. Hey, Rainer. And Wes Green is here too. He's my coworker at Photoday, and he helps moderate our webinars. So if I can't get to a question as we're going along, Wes usually can answer that for me, as well as post some links as we go along too. If I randomly say, hey, I have an article about that, or we have this, or we have that, like, can you share it? Wes is great about that. So welcome, and we'll just dive right in and get started here. My name is Lisa, for those of you who I've never met before, or maybe you haven't watched any webinars yet, so welcome for anybody that's new here, and for you guys that have watched a lot of webinars, or we talked a lot on the phone. Hey, hope everything's going well right now, but yeah, I wanted to pull up first. I posted this on my personal Facebook this morning, but it was like really relevant with everything that's going on right now, and especially this webinar in particular. But it was an article on The Atlantic, and the title of it was "The Pandemic Will Change American Retail Forever." And the one paragraph that really stood out for me, because they were talking about just retail and grocery shopping and things in general, reads, in the past month, online shopping has gone from a regular habit for a minority of consumers to a crucial part of America's recreational infrastructure. 1/3 of Americans bought groceries online in the last month, and tens of millions did it for the first time. And I thought that was really important because, like, you know, building out Photoday, we're about 3 years in right now from the very beginning. And when we first had this concept and came out the door, there wasn't, I tried everywhere. We tried everywhere to locate volume photographers that were doing it 100% online. And there was very small percentage or a small amount of photographers that we could find that were doing it 100%. Everyone's doing some kind of secondary online, whether it's post sales, whether it's prepay package, but ultimately the strategy that they had in place still went with the prepay paper form or proofing marketing method, not so much online. And I think that's so important and relevant for all of us to use this downtime right now to learn how to implement and how to create our online marketing strategy. Now it's more important than ever, because it seems like that is the direction that this is going to continue to go everywhere and evolve as this pandemic has affected all of us in different ways. So I'm excited to present this to you guys today, and feel free to just holler out any questions as we go along in the chat box. And at the end, I'll give you guys my email if you wanted to chat privately. We can do that as well one-on-one. So I'm here to help you guys. So let's just kick this off. So 75% of us expect brands to make more of a contribution to our well-being and quality of life. And that is a really important thing, especially with bringing your business 100% online. And the one thing that stands out more than anything with going from offline to online is that trust that you've built between you, your organizations and schools, and your customers. So your studio brand is important now more than ever. And when moving online, one of the most important things that you need is that online presence, those Google reviews, those Facebook reviews. You need to establish that brand trust. And that's very important. I can't express it enough when going online. So it's the first thing that you need to work on. So, you know, with going online, you connect with your customer in all different ways at all different times, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, through apps, through their mobile devices, putting Picture Day in the hands of parents, especially when we are finally able to get back into things, is going to be more important now than it ever was before. And you know what, the strange fact here, or maybe it's ironic or whatever you want to say, but a couple years ago, and even up till recently, before this pandemic, one of the concerns that we hear a lot at Photoday is, what if my parents, don't have a smartphone, or what if they can't access any online galleries and things like that? And those are concerns. And then now what I just read from that article, with millions of people finally shopping for their groceries online in an app environment, customers are becoming more tech savvy over this. So that concern that we had before, in the past with like, my customers aren't tech savvy, they're being forced right now to be tech savvy. And that's very relevant information when thinking about how you're going to present an online world to your parents when things do return. So Stella, that's a great question. What are the best ways to increase Google reviews? The best way to increase your Google reviews right now is to interact with your customers, whether it's through a promotion on an email campaign or anything like that, where you can send out, here's a coupon, here's a special offer. If you didn't order yet, go offer. And by the way, can you leave us a review? You can also, if you currently are a Photoday user, you can export the emails of people who have already ordered through your Jobs Insights panel. And then you can prepare an email campaign to go ahead and ask for those reviews and leave them a link to like and review on your social page. Start with your friends first. Start with your contacts first, the people you talk to all the time, to start generating those reviews. Then reach out to your main customer base. So that'll really help kick it off and help, incentivize you to keep getting those reviews once you start getting some reviews. So start with your friends, family, the ones that you're close to first, that you're photographing, and then go ahead and reach out to your main customer base. But that is also very important. Thanks, Bella. So the image is everything thing. We bring this up a lot during our webinars because when going to an online world, your images really are everything. They are the product that you're selling first and foremost, aside from connecting them to get to that product, which are your images. When you compare it to the traditional way, if you're still doing things traditional, even with the proofing method, you're advertising your products or your packages first, and then they're seeing the images second, or not even until they've got them in their hands for delivery. So it's a completely different, your customers in a completely different psychology when they're seeing their images first and they're going through checkout versus seeing a paper form first and those products and packages that they're selecting, and then getting the images later, like almost by surprise. So image is everything in an online world, because you know what, if mom can recreate an image that's better than your image just by using your cell phone, that image is not good enough, and it's not going to sell in an online world no matter what you do and how you price it. So creating those images is super important. That's one of the things that we really like to almost brag about at Photoday, is our system gets rid of that paperwork and gets rid of all those tedious tasks that you have to do on and after picture day, so you can focus on creating better images, more images, and stepping up that editing process to get a variety of images, which increases your inventory to sell to your parents. So that's one of the things that we preach here at Photoday to every photographer that's interested in using our system or is currently active in our system. So I'm gonna move myself out of the way because I'm like totally covering up my slideshow here. So give me 1 second, because I totally forget how to do this. I'm gonna make myself smaller. So you guys got to squint to see me now if you're on a small screen. So over here, keys to selling online. You got connection, engagement, urgency, and incentive. These are the 4 things that you need to do in overall. So if you write this down on a piece of paper, connection, engagement, urgency, and incentive, you have to have all of those 4 keys. This is the puzzle pieces that put together for a successful online marketing strategy. And we're going to go through each one of those in detail, so you can brainstorm how you can utilize the resources that you have access to and future resources to implement these 4 keys to selling your photographs online. So first things first, connecting with customers. So it all starts with the organization. And I've been there the traditional way many, many, many times, where we're communicating and passing out, packets of paper forms and saying, all you gotta do is hand these out to your parents, right? That's the way communication used to be. Here's our picture day, here's our schedule, there's where the teams are coming in, and I'm gonna drop off order forms. Don't worry if they forget them, we'll have more there. Well, that does not jive in the online world, so you can't do it. You gotta ask different questions at this point. At this point, when you're filtering which organizations you are bringing online, you're gonna start off with a different series of questions. And that really is, how do you communicate this important information to your parents? How do you communicate any important information in the game day, any registration fees, anything like that? Where can we include information about picture day in that communication channel? And then will the parents be present at the shoot? That's a big question. So if their parents are going to be there during the shoot. It's going to really determine the resources that you need during the event that take place to help connect you to the parents. So you really need the answers to those questions. And then how can your organization help get this message out to the parents? So if you ask the right questions, you will get the right answers that you need to connect with the parents and kick off your marketing strategy. And if that person cannot answer you, that you're talking to on the phone, ask who handles their social channels, their communication channels, who's in charge of this. Can I talk to them? Can I have their email address? Can I have their phone number? Get in touch with that person that's in charge. Don't let it go through the middleman, because it will get lost and you will not get the greatest results. So communicate early and often. You want to do this as soon as you book. You want to know who you're talking to, what they have control of, and where you can fit in as soon as you schedule those picture days, so you can fit your communications in and you can prepare the resources that they need to communicate prior to the scheduled picture day. So we recommend to start 2 to 4 weeks prior to. You can start longer, or up until then. It really depends on your event and how last minute this all is. I know everything's up in the air right now, so I'm just talking like everything's returned to normal right now. So hope you guys don't mind that. Here's one of our trailblazers, Arch Booth. He is one that adopted the online strategy and actually fitted in quite well to his business. He was doing league photography for over 40 years and converted his business over to Photo Day. So one of the most important questions he asks is, who's responsible for all the marketing and content? And that's something we just went over. For example, one of his organizations, he works with various directors for all different sports, but there's only one person that controls all the marketing communication. So in this case, it was probably like something like a school with all the different school sports, but each athletic director does not communicate directly. It's only one person's job to do that. You need to find that one person that's doing that, so you can connect with them and get them the resources that they need to communicate. And then how we communicate, the message that we provide in that communication is so very important. So if you guys don't follow Gary Vee, now's the time to do it. He has a great social media outlet. He's a content creator, provides great marketing advice in the digital world. And he's an expert at it and has been found very, very successful. So his thing, the Gary thing, I was going to play a video, but I'm not, because it's just him talking about this give, ask thing. Oh, you know what? No, I will play the video for those of you who haven't seen it yet. So, but his thing is to give until you ask. So you want to give more information. You don't want to always be asking. And he'll explain that here in this video. So let me pull that up for you guys and I'll show it to you. Let me see.
So I love the give, then ask philosophy. I love how you say, I'm a firm believer that I can, then guilt somebody into doing it. Just really good stuff.
I really do.
Yeah. So tell us some more about that, because
about jab, right hook's philosophy. So jab, right hook stands for give, and then ask. That's what I want to happen on social media. For the people that are watching this video that are fortunate enough to be paying attention and following brands and people on social, you know that 99% of people are jerks. They just push, buy my book, buy my wine, come to our conference, watch this video. It's just push. Social at its best is you giving, you putting out free videos of keynotes, you answering people's questions. And then every 15th tweet, that would be jab, right? Every 15th tweet or Facebook status update, you're putting out, go to Amazon and pre-order my book. It would mean a lot to me. It's just old-fashioned rules, right? Like, the reason you did things for people back in the day is because they did things for you. And so that is my overall thesis in business, but specifically it's translated very heavy to social, because people stop following people that are pushing all the time, or at worst, if they don't unfollow them, they tune them out. And so we're in a very noisy world. Everybody's got email services, everybody's got banner ads, everybody's got pre-rolls, everybody's got direct mail and radio and television and websites and Facebook accounts and Twitter accounts, or some mix of those. If you don't figure out how to bring value to your end user along the way of you pitching them, I think you become very irrelevant.
All right, guys. So that was, let me get out of here. Stop that from playing. So that was the Gary Vee give, then ask philosophy. So, and that means all that communication that you're putting out in advance You're not just sitting there asking them to buy. You're providing the information about picture day, about tips, about their schedule, things like that, that you want to provide to them, useful information leading up to that day, connecting them to you, your gallery, and that business. So here's an example of some effective communications. And this is actually a templated email available in your Photo Day Studio panel when you go to email a marketing flyer. And you can copy and reuse this lingo as you guys need to. So it just says, dear coach, the key to a successful picture day is making sure that every parent knows exactly how to find their kids' photos. I'm going to need your help getting the word out. So we're kind of like kicking it off, sending it to the coach. All they have to do is forward this. There's a web page. It has all the essential picture day details. Please share it with everyone. Team schedule, Facebook page, via email, as discussed. We discussed via the phone. Also attaching a PDF that they can email as an attachment. So you're giving them a lot of resources to get out in the different channels that they might be pushing it out, rolling it out in. And that's so important to gather that all up in one place and send one email so it's all in one place. Don't hit them up with multiple communications and I forgot this and can you do this and can you do this? Give it to them all at once. It makes it more organized, it makes it easier for them, and it does not overwhelm them. So make sure you gather all your resources well in advance to get that done. Here's an example of the gallery webpage. Now, Photo Day creates little job landing pages in the marketing section of each job that pulls that information through your main access code, the URL link, the App Store download links. It attaches if the gallery's in advanced pay mode versus a post-sale gallery or a current gallery. The flyers will have different wordings. You can print the flyers or save them as a PDF or JPEG, and you can also park them as an HTML landing page so people can just click on it, get right there and into the gallery prior to Photo Day. Flyers and posters. These are so super important to hang before the event at a place like, say, a preschool or a daycare where parents are dropping off and picking up. You want to get out and put information in front of them as often as possible. Tim, you didn't know we could do a landing page? Well, that's the HTML link. I can't believe you didn't know that. So you learn something new every day, right? See, it's coming to these webinars is helpful. Okay, so the flyers and the posters. So yeah, make sure we have all these resources for you available in the Photo Day Marketing Kit in your studio panel that you can download and change the branding to make them look more for your own. So here is an example. We have this is how you text a short code, which more and more people are catching on, just like more and more people are shopping online now more than ever. So you've done the cards, but the page is sweet. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you learned something new today. So, but yeah, so start early, start often, hang those posters and banners before and on picture day. And this is an example of an email that's going out to a parent. So this email has the flyer attached to it, and it has all the relevant information that they need to know about picture day and how to go ahead and start early making those advance pay purchases and what offers they get if they do make an advance pay purchase. So email is a big part of that, as well as always make sure on your website, on your Facebook page, you have a link to where they go to order images. So if, for instance, since Photo Day doesn't have that individual gallery, especially doing private galleries or group gallery setting, you'll want to just provide the main landing page, galleries.photoday.io, and just put a link like an ordered images link or place your order online link right on your website. That way they're not, if they have their access code or they have their private access code or anything like that, they're not trying to struggle and figure out how to get to the images. They know your name, they know your website. Make sure you have a portal available for them and information published on your website and your social channels. And speaking of social, post your events. Here is just an example of a social media graphic, but as you schedule out picture days, you can actually schedule Facebook events from your business page and create an event, add the graphic in there. And if you don't want to give out the access codes publicly, you can say reach out to the organization or get your access code on picture day, or you can add it to the actual event that people register to so they can receive notifications. And if they're anything like me, with all of my personal and private events for kids birthday parties and friend stuff and things like that. Everybody makes Facebook events, so you can schedule them and get reminders right through Facebook. So that's a really great way to connect and keep your parents informed, your customers informed. So, and these are just some examples of the social media outlets you can be in. You know, wouldn't worry necessarily about choosing all of them, okay? I would choose, like, if you're not into social media right now, if you haven't really beefed up your social media presence, just start small. Start with what you know, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram. Start small, guys. Don't jump in all at once and try to set up everywhere and figure out what you can use it for, because each social media outlet has a different purpose, a different following, a different way you communicate with people. So it can become quite overwhelming. So start small. Start with Facebook first. If that's what you're familiar with, jump over to Instagram. It's the next best thing before you go and establish a plan at all different places. But always, always, always be expanding. Once you get good at one thing, go to the next channel, because the more channels you use and the more channels that you own and you become the master at, the better you are able to communicate with your customers and connect with them online. So keep building that knowledge and how to create that online social presence. So we're going to talk about engagement now. So creating that engagement and excitement. We do a couple different things here at Photoday. We, take pride. We do a lot of text marketing. That SMS, which is the formal name for it, or text marketing, that is the kind of the magic thing we thought would be really awesome when we created this volume system. How do you get the masses to connect? Yeah, it's a good channel to hit. Social media with the high school athletes is TikTok. That's a good one to bring up, David. My kids aren't allowed to use that. They're too little. So, but not yet anyway. I gotta wait till they're older. I might have a heart attack about all the social media stuff. But engaging engaging your customer by way of text marketing, we found to be super simple and very, very, very effective. And what that means is Photoday, how we do a text to connect. So once they text that access code to our Photoday short code, which is 90738, they're now connected to that specific gallery. And depending on what the status of your gallery is, we can automate the marketing communication that comes back through them through text marketing to help drive them back to the cart and complete their purchase. It's not just a one and done email. Once they enter the Photoday world and the world of text marketing, they are entered into that whole text marketing strategy, which is very, very powerful to keep bringing them back for more. As well as advance pay. Now, advance pay in Photoday is a different animal, right? It's a little bit, sounds like prepay, but it's really called advance pay. You are getting money in advance and you are getting that skin in the game in advance, but you're not collecting 100% of your sales in advance. So, because what advance pay allows you to do is almost like sell a session fee prior to or during picture day, it's a gift card basically that they can redeem towards anything in the store. And you choose to incentivize that. You can say anyone who makes an advance pay purchase is going to get free shipping off orders 35 or more. Or you can say anyone that makes an advance pay purchase can get $5 off their order of 40 or more, whatever you want. You can incentivize them. You can even require it. We have studios. Stella's here today. Stella's one of our trailblazers as well. And she went through her whole fall season requiring advance pay because she's doing a lot of compositing. So they make a small advance pay purchase. And then she knows that her customers have skin in the game and they're able to convert the sale later. And she didn't waste all that time for nothing. She knows they're serious and they do want to follow through and buy photographs. Special offers and discounts. I touched on that a little bit. It is very important to engage and get your customers excited. I mean, how many of you sit back and you're shopping online right now and maybe you're not buying from Amazon. Maybe you're buying from, I don't know, the other day I bought from Ulta. I needed new hair supplies. So I go and do a Google search for coupon codes for Ulta because I know they always have a coupon code. It's like $3.50 off my order, but who cares? Like it's $3 off my order. That gets me excited, and that's why I go back and I order from them because that's what I remember. So you want to create those special offers and discounts, and you're not discounting your services here, guys. This is a customer acquisition cost. This is an incentive to spend more, and we will actually get into that more here in a little bit. Dynamic packages. The way we sell our packages changes in the online world. You're not going to want to take your existing paper form packages and throw them online. Why? The number one reason is because you're going to have a variety of images for them to choose from online, and your print packages for the prepay environment no longer make sense. So don't try to do that. It's confusing and it's not going to give you great results. So your packages are going to change. And they're going to change according to how many images that you're creating for each one of the people that you're photographing. And then you can do featured products. You can put popular products first, aside from your packages, like the coffee mugs or keychains. Or if you're doing this around holidays, you want to feature things like holiday ornaments. So you can feature those products to show up first. And I just do a quick comparison. The Amazon, they do the same thing with their featured products when you're shopping in the Amazon cart. You can do that same thing in your Photo Day storefront. So text marketing best practices. This is one thing that when we brought this text marketing thing into the volume industry, and I did a presentation 3 years ago at SPAC, it was the one thing, everything I presented, everyone came up and started asking questions, but it was also new to us as well. So just a few basics, especially if you, let's say, have all these cell phone numbers that you collected from paper forms. You cannot import those into another text marketing software and start spamming people. That is not good. If they didn't opt in via text to receive communication from you from the start, then spamming them through text marketing is not going to be an ideal method to communicate with your customers. So you have to collect the opt-ins up front, and your customer needs to know what they're opting in for. So their response, when they opt in, you should make them aware what they're opting into. They're opting into Picture Day. They're going to get information about Picture Day, but you also need to give them a way to opt out. Legally, that is a thing. So they have to have that opportunity to opt out from your text marketing campaign, and you get that if you sign up for any text marketing right now. You'll say stop to opt out. Also, when you are distributing these text messages, make sure you do it during normal business hours. Or basically what that means is the normal hours you would be available support. Since you are reaching out to your customers and engaging them through text marketing, they might have questions. And if you text somebody on a Friday afternoon and you hightail out of there and turn off all your social for the weekend and turn off your phone and go camping or something off the grid, and you text hundreds of customers about your product and services and you're not available for questions, that's not going to go over well with that brand trust. So make sure you're doing this at a time where you are able to be responsive to your customer. And again, keep it short and sweet. Don't text them entire paragraphs. We don't do that at Photo Day. Whatever text marketing solution you use, you should limit those character counts and keep it short and sweet and to the point. You don't need to tell them everything. You just need to direct them and get them and provide that call to action, whether it's a discount, an offer, or just raising awareness about your product. So here's some examples of some text marketing purposes, like some things you can do with it. You can use it to talk about bringing Picture Day into the hands of parents through their mobile devices. We do important Picture Day alerts, like say if there's a rain out or a cancellation. It's not something Photo Day really does, but if you're using text marketing in your plan, you could, and an outside service, these are things you could use it for. So hopefully I'm being clear with that. You can also do some early engagement. Now we do this in the Photo Day system, especially when it comes to advance pay, and they're texting and opting in and your gallery status is in advance pay. That means the responses they're going to get is going to prompt them to buy an advance pay credit and get a head start on their Picture Day purchases. It's going to prompt them to start that commitment to you. And then continuous communication. And what we mean by that at Photo Day is that it's not a one and done thing. Text marketing is an entirely, it's its own animal. So, once you publish a gallery and they get the text back that the photos are ready to be viewed and purchased, if somehow they get distracted, if they, go on to something else, they get a phone call, they totally forget what they're doing. Text marketing is meant to bring them back to the cart until they check out. So we have a 5-series auto SMS campaign, as we call it, that's designed to go out to those people who have opted into the gallery but have not yet made a purchase. So as soon as they make a purchase, they exit out of that campaign and we stop text marketing to them to make the purchase because they already have. And then there's also a direct to gallery link that you can put in your text messages that happens automatically with Photo Day. Like I said, if you're using another source, you want to get them right to their gallery, right where they need to be within your text messages. And you can also use text marketing for feedback to collect, reviews like we were just talking about. Get reviews about the products, about your picture day experience, things like that. You can use text marketing for that as well. So at Photo Day, we use it actually when the customer checks out. So when they complete a purchase and they are done with their purchase and they're just waiting for it to arrive in the mail, they get a text saying the order's been completed, received and completed, and we ask them to complete a short survey about their Photo Day experience. And that information, that feedback that we collect, helps us continuously improve the cart for your customers. So if we recognize a lot of patterns there, it gets worked on right away. So we're constantly looking at that feedback here at Photo Day, and you can do the same thing for your picture days. So advance pay here, buy a credit now to save later. This is one of our most important strategies when it comes to selling online, because it does allow you to get that skin in the game. So, by setting up advance pay credit sheet and attaching it to your gallery, and that is a good place to start when you're transitioning from the prepay forms to an online environment, because it does give you the ability. We didn't think presenting your packages and products prior to them seeing the images made a lot of sense. And that's where we came up with advance pay, because advance pay allows you to get a little bit of money up front that they can apply towards whatever they want in the cart later. And it allows you to get kind of that down payment or separate the payments out and collect even a little bit more, because now you're spreading out the purchases. So also, a gift card you give yourself. That's how we talk about it in Lingo. It's basically a gift card that they purchase for themselves to redeem later. If you do incentivize your advance pay purchase, make sure it's your best offer. Make sure you don't beat that out with a same day flash sale later on in the sales process in that first 30 days. Make sure it is your best offer, because you don't want to reward somebody give them that false sense of, if you make an advance payment, you're going to get the best deal, but then you give it even a better deal 2 weeks after you launched a gallery. That wouldn't go over well with your customers. So make sure you don't do that. And then packages that sell. Here are some things that we talked about earlier. Packages that sell, you want to use a descriptive name. There's no more alphanumeric naming of packages. So no more package A, B, C, D. I don't want to see that stuff in Photo Day. And if we're on the phone or in support chat and I happen to look at your packages and I see that, we will tell you about that. We will tell you, hey man, you need to change your package names because that's not right. This is very valuable retail space. You are one-to-one connecting with your customer on a phone. This is your chance to be descriptive in what you're selling and walk them through what you want them to purchase, because now they're connected to the gallery with all your great images. So, name the package as something description. Like if it's a big package, there's a lot of pictures because that kid's got a really big family, name it large family pack. You can even use the gold, silver, bronze, platinum, whatever, if you wanted to focus on that. I think those are not very exciting. But you can also do download packs, like pack of 2 digitals, pack of 4 digitals. These are just examples of names that help the parents direct them to which packages to purchase that they want. Focus on the value. You have the ability to create a package description. And in the old way, in the package description, we always wrote out what was in the package. Well, that happens automatically with Photo Day. So don't write out what's in the package description. This is where we focus on value. What do they save when ordering that package? What does that package include for free? Like if you threw a magnet in there for free, make sure you put, this package includes a free magnet. It's 15% off. So put that savings in the value of that package in the package description. So you can also talk here about multiple images. You can say in the packages, you can say you can create a package of, if you have 6 poses of every kid you're photographing, name a package, 6 pose package, or pack of 6 5x7s or something like that. And because people might want to put a collage together of all the different poses or looks that you provided to them in the different images. So make sure you create packages that account for the variety of images that you're providing, and you describe that in the package description. You can do print and digital packs together. For your biggest packages, that's great. In the webinar that we did last week, how to transition to online sales, we talked about how to do a free social sharing download promotion in the first 48 hours. It's a great strategy to get people to convert the sale very quickly after you publish your gallery. And then make sure your packages have a significant savings over your a la carte pricing. I won't even begin to tell you how many packages I look at that make no sense when comparing them to a la carte. Make sure you guys do the math on this. We have a great blog post called Creating Packages That Work. I think, Wes, I'm calling you for this link. But this blog post also contains a link to a file, a worksheet. It's an Excel sheet that you can download and kind of mess with the different products and your retail pricing to make sure your margins are right and what they're saving. So if you guys aren't Excel friendly, I'm sorry. But if you are and you wanted a starting point, there's one located on our Photo Day blog for creating packages that work. And then savings bundles, like we just talked about the simple digital pack, maybe put, pack of 4 downloads, pack of 6 downloads, make sure they know that they can save. Now in the Photo Day world, one parent in the group or public galleries, they can check out with all of their kids in one purchase. So make sure your packages account for that. Make bigger packages, especially in those events like soccer or baseball or dance, where there's always a lot of siblings involved together. You're not going to run into it so much in the high school sports world, obviously, because it's grade specific, but you will run into it in the youth sports world or even in private galleries in schools, but the parents can check out together. That way they're not making a bunch of separate transactions and it's a lot easier for them. Thanks, Wes, for that link. But that's the Packages That Work blog post link that I was just talking about that Wes posted in the chat. So make sure that your packages have measurable savings. We talked about that. And basically high resolution downloads versus the social share. I see people try to sell both side by side. I will tell you that selling a social sharing download alongside of a high-res download, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, the parents are just going to buy the cheaper download because all they want is a download. So try to use those social sharing downloads as a marketing tactic. Get it free with these packages. Get it free for a limited time. Just take it back out of the packages when you don't want to offer it anymore. Try to use them as a time-based incentive or to get to the next level of package, not so much sell them side by side with your high-resolution images. And then custom storefronts. You want a storefront that looks good, that's clean, that's simple, that is mobile friendly in this world where everyone is shopping from their mobile phone. So even if you're not using Photo Day right now and you're considering other platforms, check out and pretend to be a customer yourself on your mobile device. What is this flow going to look like? Does it bring me back to the cart continuously? What if I forget? Go through all those scenarios and really put it to the test to make sure you're making the right decisions and make sure you know how to implement the right strategy to get those sales through checkout from views to purchases, and make sure they're easy to use and you remove any guesswork behind it at all. So let's talk about urgency and how we use offers and different things to get that sense of urgency through online. Because as we know, going online, everyone's a procrastinator, especially when you compare it to traditional picture day where you pack up on a Saturday and all your money's in your cash box and all you got to do is make a bank run and run some credit cards that you didn't run on site, right? It's going to be different. The online sales cycle is about 30 days from start to finish. However, most of your sales, over half of your sales, are going to happen in the first 2 weeks. Especially, even more than that will happen sooner if you execute the right marketing strategy and communication out to the parents. So you want to have time-based offers. Time-based offers, a good example of that is just an offer or coupon code with an expiration date. Now, if you incentivize your advance payment, you can make that also that offer, say free shipping with any advance pay purchase off orders 35 or more, but they have to convert the sale by a certain date to take advantage of all of that. So make sure that your offer codes will have an expiration date on them. If you're using the same offers for all of your galleries for all season long and you're just kind of streamlining it, then you don't want to put expirations on them because your events are going to be photographed at all different days and all different times. So limited time price sheets. We talked about this in the webinar last week in detail, so don't forget to catch that if you haven't seen it yet. But basically what this is if they want to get the best deal, the best package pricing, everything that you've negotiated or presented to that organization, Then they have to order by this date. After this date, the prices are going to increase, but we don't want to tell them prices are increasing. We're just going to say the prices are the best if you order within the first 14 days or whatever you want to do there to give them a little bit of time and you time as well. And then flash sales. Flash sales are a good way to recover sales if something went wrong. Say like if you didn't do all the steps and you missed a step, or you just wanted to revitalize a gallery, flash sales are great for that purpose. At Photo Day, you just reach out to us in the bubble and we do a flash work with a flash sale on you. But it's a great way to send out communication to everyone who hasn't made a purchase yet and get them back to the gallery for a one-day sale, one day only. That's very popular. Get those text messages all the time. Gallery expiration, you can expire a gallery. I mean, there's nothing. So in Photo Day, you can unexpire and expire your galleries as much as you want. I, personally don't like expiring galleries. I like expiring the best pricing over expiring galleries, because why shut anyone out? Especially maybe if somebody's waiting to get paid or something like that, and then they can't order anything. And then I just made a bad experience for that one customer who may talk to 5 more customers. So I never like to do anything negative, and I never recommend that. But there's use cases for it. There's use cases where you need to expire a gallery for whatever reason. So that is there. And then fundraiser deadlines. If you are writing a commission check, whether it's a school, whether it's an organization, you'll want to, can you do a flash sale for people who have already ordered? Stella, we do that in the form of our Photo Day promos right now. And yes, you can do a flash sale for people who have already ordered, but there are certain parameters that must be followed. So we're not stuck spamming people who may not want to receive any more text messages. So reach out to us in the bubble. We can work with you on that as well. So for fundraiser deadlines, we have a great series that will go off. And so if you need to write that check, you can close out sales by a certain date, whether it's 21 days past picture day, 30 days past picture day. That way, all the sales done up until that point are participating in that picture day fundraiser. So at Photo Day, we have a series that goes along with it. It's a 7-day countdown series. Like you got 1 week left, you got 3 days left. Tomorrow is the last day to participate in the fundraiser series. So, or in the picture day fundraiser. So make sure you set that up. That's a great thing to get those sales closed. And also when you do that, especially with these places you're writing commission checks to, it incentivizes them to help communicate on your behalf because they want to get their money too. So it's a great incentive to help them help you communicate and get the word out. And then the promos, I was just answering Stella's question about the seasonal promos. That's something we offer in Photo Day. We do not have live promos right now because there's not really a season right now. So we took them, or they're kind of just delayed with activating, but come fall, there's going to be all kinds of promos in there, from Grandparents' Day to Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Thanksgiving, and then holiday specials that you can just opt your galleries into to advertise promotions during those times. And they're all themed according to the holiday. And you can take advantage of that. Here's the examples of promos right here. We got Labor Day, Parents' Day, Halloween. All these different promos are available in the promo section of your studio panel when they become active. But they are not there right now because there's no season right now, and I'm going to cry if I keep saying that. Okay, so drive more sales with the right incentives here. So time it right. You want to make sure you design offers before, during, and after picture day. You want to motivate the behavior you want. That's earlier orders and higher order values. That's how you incentivize, and that's how you advertise those incentives. And then give the customers what they want. Give them things for free. People love free stuff, whether it's free shipping, free social media downloads. Give them what they want. Account for that in your packages and your pricing. And don't look at it as a discount. Look at it as an incentive to drive them to do the actions that you would like them to do. Here's a really great example, one that Haley set up, SB Photos, out of Destin. She's actually, I think, the first Photo Day user trying it with her leagues, but she's had so many great ideas along the way. And this is one of the ideas that she had, and to get people to make an advance paid purchase. And she basically just said, if you guys text the access code now and opt in advance pay $20, before and you register to play before the deadline date of January 9th, she's going to pay for the registration. She's going to bring a check that day when they show up, and that's picture day, that covers the cost of their registration. So she ran this alongside of the league. The league thought it was a great idea, something to incentivize and give to their parents and communicate with them. But she had a lot of advanced pay sales well before picture day, which was in March, back in January. So she photographed this league the week, I think it was like week before this quarantine stay-at-home orders went into effect. So she had a lot of skin in the game prior to then. So that was a really, really great way to advertise and partner with the organization to get the message out. You can do creative things like that. So here are the types of incentives. We have two different types of incentives in the online world. You have speed and you have spend. So when you're setting up a coupon code, a special offer, it's going to mean either one of these two things. Speed, which is creating that sense of urgency. You can do that in different ways, just by expiring the offer code, the coupon, so they can get it before their gallery, before that offer code expires. You have friendly competition. You can do something even more aggressive, more fun, depending on the type of event, and say only the first 20 people get this $10 off their order. Once this card has been used, once this offer code has been used 20 times, it's over. Just to give them a little bit of, that friendly competition to go in there to drive the sales, to make it exciting. And then the early bird motivation, that is what we're talking about with advanced pay and incentivizing your advanced pay offer for those people. Now, spend offers are a little bit different because there's no expiration and you're setting an order minimum for them to be able to apply that special offer. And you can make these big because you got to remember, if the mom has 3-4 kids playing in that sports league, you can give her a bigger savings, but for a much larger order. So if she has an order like of 100 or more, you can do a save 15 or something like that, something more significant. And you don't have to do small spends. You can do, hey, my average on this league is usually $35. I'm going online for the first time. I'm doing more images. I'm going to set my minimum order to receive offers at 45 or 50 or something like that. And then give them a little bit of savings, whether it's free shipping, whether it's $1 or fixed percentage off of their larger orders. And then, put those irresistible multi poses in there with different props, more different expressions, funny team shots, standard composited team photos, or just the traditional team photos, buddies and siblings. All those different multiple poses are going to count and help you with those spend offers that you create. So what I'm saying here is, if you're doing a gallery, and I see this mistake a lot. So if you have a gallery and it's only 1 or 2 poses per kid, let's say it's fall picture day and you only do 1 pose anyway. It's just their head and shoulders. That's it for the school service items. But you have spend offers creative, spend 50 or more and get $10 off. Not a lot of people are going to use that because they only have 1 image to buy from. So you're not really, helping the cause there. You're just going to give somebody a good deal who's got a lot of kids, maybe, or that's it. So you want to make sure that the types of offers you're creating coincide with the type of job and how many images you're selling. So hopefully that makes sense. It's not super confusing. And then do bulk discounts on digital downloads. So the more downloads they order, the cheaper they get per download. Parents love downloads for whatever reason. They just want them just to have. I pulled a bunch of parents a while back on this to see what downloads really meant to them. And a lot of them just wanted it to have it to keep because they were scared it was going to be gone forever. So they just wanted it for them on their phone, for sharing, for whatever reason. So go ahead and incentivize them to buy more downloads, especially if you're doing more poses and different looks, by offering those download packs with the savings. So just to regroup everything I just went for, these are the 4 things to write down to know when you're outlining your marketing strategy for taking your studio online. So you have connection, engagement, urgency, and incentive. These are the 4 main tips. So if you guys do all 4 of these for every single job you're transitioning online, there is going to be, and create great images, you are going to be successful with your online sales. So this is just 4 basic steps. We broke it down into some detail. If you want to get in further detail check out the webinar that we did last week, how to transition the online sales. So, oh, that slide wasn't supposed to be in there, guys. I'm going to keep going through. So anyway, this is my email address. So if you guys wanted to connect, chat about your studio, what your needs are, if you have individual questions that you don't want to holler out here, feel free to reach out to me via email. I'm more than willing to work with you guys one-on-one. If you're already in your studio panel, you can also reach out to me in the little support bubble at the bottom there, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you guys have along the way. So, oh, thanks, Wes, for that link. So Wes just posted the link of the How to Transition the Online Sales webinar that we did last week, and that one takes you step by step through the exact strategies that we recommend that we just went over here in this more general overview of a webinar. So any questions for me today? I can use this time for some Q&A, or I can just stop talking for a minute for 50 minutes straight. I've been talking and you guys have been quiet. But thanks for you guys chiming in as we went. Thanks, David. Hope you guys got a lot out of today, and I hope you're keeping your chin up and keeping busy at home. We're all gonna have the most organized, cleanest houses with the best landscape by the time this is all over, I'm sure, and weird tans from being outside. So thanks, Danielle. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in today, spending the afternoon with me, or your late morning if you're on the West Coast, and hope to talk to you guys soon. So thanks a lot, guys.